Okie dokie. Okay, you guys. So I'm so excited that everyone is on. I know we have a great group here. We have some other people that haven't been able to join us. So really what we are here to talk about tonight is the 90-day launch plan. So grab your notepads, grab your pens, your pencils if you don't have them already. Amber and I have poured some heart and some a lot. I don't want to say tears because we really didn't like cry, right? But some like heart and some really thought into sort of planning out something that we feel can be very successful, a plan that can be very successful for each and every one of you and whatever your goals are. But honestly, it comes down to you putting the work in, you putting the effort in. We can give you the tools. We can show you the way to be successful. We can help you work through some of those challenges, but we cannot do it for you. So we really want to sort of talk about, the why and sort of set expectations up front. Now, I know there are a handful of people who are either going to be watching this on the replay or watching it now that are like, I'm sort of on the fence. I don't know if I want to do that. And that's okay, you guys. Like, we want you to take everything in tonight. And if you walk away saying, this isn't the right timing, or I don't know, it's okay. It's all right to sort of take that bow out, or you're 45 days in. But I also want to give you the encouragement. Don't take the easy way out just because you feel like you can't do something, or feel like you're going to sort of have that failure, or maybe I've tried this before and it didn't work. Maybe you haven't tried it this way. I guarantee you haven't, because we have some things. So Amber, any sort of opening comments before we sort of kick off our agenda? I know we have a lot.
I had to unmute myself. Sorry. I'm trying to stay muted if I'm not speaking. And I'm sorry, you guys, I look like teetotal crap. But we're at the end of summer. We've got a couple days here left at home with my kiddos before they really get back into school. Obviously, I'm in the middle of wedding planning, if you didn't know that about me. I'm kind of at wit's ends with some things, right? Like over the top, just like stressed out, overwhelmed. And that's kind of what I want to speak to at some point, whether that's right now or kind of here in a little while. Kelly mentioned it, that if this is good timing for you, we're ready. We want to work with you. We're ready to pour what we have, what we know into you guys and run and go hard. But we want to do that if you are truly in that place. And you can say, I'm going to make that commitment. I'm going to have this conversation with my family, my significant other, whoever it is in your immediate circle that, your daily life interacts with. That they know that we've kind of created this expectation, not just with you and your plans, but with who is in your inner circle, in your everyday world, that, hey, have you had that discussion with your people to say, I'm really heads down getting something done right now. I want to talk about how this is going to impact me, maybe our time together, because that's really, in my opinion, that's the only way this is going to work, is if you have the conversation with yourself, but you also have it with the people that are closest to you, that you're dealing with every day, whether that's spouses, kids, boyfriends, girlfriends. You kind of have to have everybody on that page and ready to cheer you on and run with you. So I'll start there.
I love it. So you guys, we're going to kick off with sort of, saying like why we're doing this and sort of setting the expectations, then go through like a little bit of a goal exercise with you guys, and then give some examples of how you can achieve these goals. We have a little bit, some small idea of training, which we're going to get into more of this, but just sort of want to give you a little bit of taste of what we're going to do, and then offer some resources. But you're going to walk away with sort of a to-do list of what you need to do, what the expectations are, and then the kickoff for the 90-day is going to start August 20th. So put the date on your calendar, August 20th through November 16th. Why did we select this date? Because next Monday is a pretty common date for kids to get back in school for a lot of us who have school-age children. And also it takes you right through the beginning, like a week before Thanksgiving, right? And so one of the things that I love about a 90-day plan is that if you really commit to 90 days, you guys, and you go all in with everything that you have, making a few sacrifices, socializing less, watching less TV, doing some of these things, you can truly accomplish so much in 90 days. And then when that November 16th comes, you can look back and say, wow, like I really knocked it out of the park. Maybe I didn't reach all my goals, but I reached 2 of the 3. And then you can take you can sort of go into maybe a little bit of like 2, 3, 4 weeks of more of like a maintenance for your business. You're still sort of touching it every day, but you're not in that production, that heavy mindset. It gives you the opportunity to rejuvenate. It gives you the opportunity to not get burned out. And then you can go right back into a 90 days. So that is sort of the why. That is sort of the mindset behind it. And you can really accomplish a lot with a small surge of effort. I mean, you really, really can. So that's sort of the why. The expectations, how we're going to run the 90 days is, and some of you guys who were in Asheville at the leadership retreat that Blair had, not Asheville, where were we? What was that place called? It was near Asheville.
Black Mountain.
Black Mountain. Thank you. I'm like, it wasn't Asheville, but it was close. You have sort of been through this. So I hope that you can serve as maybe some experts to some of your fellow people in this group with you. We're going to set one personal goal for this 90 days, okay? And we're going to set 2 business goals. And we did go through this process, and so we're going to sort of walk through that exercise. So if you were in Asheville, you may remember going through this. And really, truly, you guys, what Amber and I are asking, what we are committing to, you're over here on my screen. I don't know if you're over there on everybody else's. Yeah, it's like the Brady Bunch, but more, right? But what we're asking everybody is to commit to that. Don't have all these goals. Don't commit to everything. Commit to those 3 things. I personally found out when I did that in my last 90-day run, 2 of those goals I crushed. They were amazing, knocked them out of the park. The 3rd goal I didn't meet. I got close, but I wasn't there. I'm still working on it, actually. But the thing is I was laser focused. I wasn't laser focused on a lot of things. I was laser focused on those 3 things. And one of them involved my personal life, and 2 of them involved my business. Okay. So I know we sort of said in the chat group to be thinking about that. So I want you to, if you haven't started thinking about that, think about that now. Accountability. So we're going to have a Zoom every single Thursday. I know I have it in my notes. I think we said Thursday nights, and we're going to allow an hour, 9 to 10. So for the next 90 days, if you're committing to this, put it down on your calendar. We are asking you to show up for the Zoom live. Now, if something happens, if you're sick, if you have something happen, obviously we said we'll be recording them, but we really want you to show up because this is a space that you all should feel like safe. We should be able to talk about like, okay, this is what I'm struggling with. This is a small group of people, okay? This is just, a small group that are all on the same page. So we want you to be able to sort of talk through things. Even if you can only hop on for a certain time, don't let it discourage you. So Thursday nights at 9. And here's the thing. There are a lot of people that need accountability, right? Like there are a lot of people that need you need a group, but you need that one person. You need those 2 people. So if you see someone either on this Zoom or in the chat group and you're really inspired by them, or you sort of feel like maybe we have the same goals, or, hey, I know that person, I can team up with them and they can push me, ask them to be your accountability partner. Amber and I are each other's accountability partner, which is really where this came from, is because we are like, all right, I'm pushing you, you're pushing me. And so having someone to sort of be able to check in and to hold you accountable, I expect to hear from her and say, like, if, what have you done? You haven't brought a 3-way call. You haven't seen a new customer. Look at your PPA, like whatever it is that I share with her that I need her to hold me accountable, and vice versa. So if you feel like you need that, definitely do that. And then also, you guys, I know I mentioned this, but I don't want those of you who were in the 200K swap. It was amazing. It was such a great thing. This is not that. Okay. We're not going to kick you out. This is a place that we are going to love you. We are going to inspire you. We're going to empower you to go. Some people want to have $1,000 in sales. Some people want to move up, rank up to a 12K, a 40K, an 80K, a 200K, whatever it is. Everyone in the group has different goals, but we're going to love you. We're going to inspire you and empower you to reach your own goals. So we're not going to kick you out. But if you feel that this 20 days in, 40 days in, 60 days in, after tonight, you feel like this isn't the right fit for me, no one's going to be upset with you. No one's going to be mad at you. We want people to be included because they want to show up for their own business and their own life, not because you feel obligated. Okay, so I want to sort of take that off the table. I promise you, Amber and I there's no judgments. There's no, we want you to do this for you. Okay, so everybody good with that? I don't want anybody to feel bad. Cool? Okay, and at any point you can say, like, I just think that this isn't for me. And look, there's some people that have said, I really want to do it, but today's not the day. Can I come in a few? It's going to be an open situation. Okay. So, Amber, we want to kick off, like, starting to sort of walk through some of the goals. Does anybody have any questions so far?
Yeah, let's make this very interactive. Don't be shy if you have something that you're curious about or you want to ask. This, like Kelly said, this is our safe place.
Yes.
There's no judgment. If you have the question, there's a good chance somebody else on here has got a similar question or the same question. So, jump in, raise your hand, put it in the chat, or just shout it out, and let's just work together, right? And make this productive, but we're going to have fun, and we're going to feel like we're all here for each other. We're all cheering each other on, and we want everybody to participate that way too.
Yeah. So has anybody sort of laid out what their goals, they in their mind, they know what their goals are, they want them to be, and would like to share?
Hey, Kelly, it's Carrie. I'll share.
Hi, Carrie.
So I haven't done my business ones yet. I want to kind of get through the rest of the Zoom first to see what kind of actionable items you're going to give us.
Mm-hmm.
But my personal goal is for 90 full days to be consistent every single day with product usage, including Thrive Skin. I have not been consistent with washing my face and using the product like I should. I have no excuse, but that's one of my personal goals, is to remain consistent with product usage on a daily basis.
I love it. I love your realness, and I think that is a great achievable goal. So we're all going to help hold you accountable for that. So Melissa, I saw you raise your hand. Where are you? There you are. Do you know how to unmute? Okay, I unmuted you, I think. I tried. Melissa, did you want to share?
No. Melissa Waller. She may be in a bad service area.
Okay. Anybody else want to share? I see Jane.
Oh, there she may be.
Okay. Go ahead. Not great.
Now you're pretty choppy, Melissa. Why don't you type it in? I know Jane typed hers. She said she's got a goal to get 45 active minutes of exercise. No, you don't need a good one. That's a great personal goal.
It's a great one. So you guys, I'll share, and your personal goals, y'all, they can be anything. There's like, it's really whatever you want to get better at. I know for me, my personal goal last 90 days was to stick to my time blocking and become efficient with my time, and to keep a clean office, which I have done. So, so it can be really anything. I have a really messy office. I see you laughing at me, Lacey. I do. It's really bad. It was really bad. It's better now.
I think Donna wants to share with us too.
Donna, yes.
Okay, I'm going to be more deliberate with connecting and consistent so I can spend more time with the husband. And I am getting back to 12K.
Good. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And by Christmas, I want to be 80K.
I love it. All right, so here's what we're going to do, you guys, to help sort of like lay out the goals. So I want you to, and those of you, I know Laura, there's Lauren and Jessica and Jane, a few of y'all that were in, Kelly, that were in Asheville. This will be the exact same chart. So if you have that chart, you can pull it out and we'll sort it in. But so I want you guys to see if y'all can see sort of how this chart is. So get yourself a piece of paper, and I'm going to write everything. I'm going to tell you everything. But I just want you to get a piece of paper and you can fill in the blanks when we go. Okay, so basically you're going to take one big piece of paper, and across the top you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to have 6 different columns, okay? And then you're going to have 3 different rows, okay? 1 for each goal. All right, so 3 different rows, and then 6 columns up top. Okay, so up top, I want you to write in the first column, what? What, and then when, why. I'm typing them in the chat group too, you guys. What, when, why, who, sacrifice, and result. So just write those all up top. And on the left-hand side here, all you need to write is goal 1, goal 2, and goal 3. And and then I want you to write somewhere, you know, on the next page or on the back of the page, I want you to write this sentence, and I'll type it out for you too once I say it. I will blank by, and it's going to be a date, and it will generate a return of blank. I will blank. I'm going to write it in here for you too. By, and it's going to be a date, and it will generate a return of. And so when you're really thinking about those goals, you want to sort of think about them that specific, right? That they're SMART goals, that they're specific, they are measurable, they're attainable, we have them in a timely manner. And so I'll give you guys, would it be helpful if I gave you an example of what that looks like? Would that be helpful? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so my my personal goal was to gain control of my time. So I said I will gain control of my time by July 15th, and it will generate a return of me gaining more time with my family and being more effective in my business. Now that could be, if it's a business goal, it could be a dollar amount, which you really can put what this goal is going to generate from an income standpoint, right? And so when I went down into the actual goal, you can write down on your goal what is your goal? My goal is to gain control of my time. And so put your goal there. And if you already know it, like some of you, you know, Carrie, you already know it. Be on your product. Move your body for 45 minutes. And then you put a date on it. And maybe your date is the end of this 90 days. I know mine is for my goals for this quarter, November 16th. I want to accomplish this. I want to do this for 90 days. And then why? Like really tap into, why is this important to you? I mean, why are you willing to make a commitment? And I really do feel like you have to be really solid in knowing why that is. So for me, what I wrote down for that was to become more efficient, to control my time so I'm not stressed out when I'm trying to spend family time. And so I can truly enjoy relaxing with my family. Because if I'm doing all these other things, I really can't truly be. So that was my why. Does that make sense? You really have to sort of dig in there to know it. We'll walk through a business one too. And your who. Think about who do you need it? Who's your support team outside of this group of people? Is it, a roommate? Is it coworkers? Is it a spouse? Is it kids? Is it a list of people? I wrote down like my support staff. I am part of my own support staff. Like for me being bought in and committed every single day is incredibly important. But Matt, my husband, and my children, my family members, and obviously my teammates. Those are people that are supporting me gain control of my time.
Kelly.
Yes.
Sorry. Can I don't know. Somebody's not muted. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Let me see. Okay. I got everybody muted, I think. Is that better? Yes. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. So really just like sort of getting into your why and your who. And then what am I sacrificing, right? So for me to gain control of my time, I'd gotten into a habit of scrolling Facebook. That habit needed to stop. TV. Like clearly, if I want to have relaxing time and I want to grow my business, the TV, I can't watch the TV, not like on a regular basis. There's a family show or something along that lines. I'm not telling you to like sacrifice it all, you guys, but like I was watching TV at least 30 minutes to an hour almost every single night. And that's wasted time for me personally. And recommitting to my time blocking habit and sticking to it. So that's what I wrote down that I was sacrificing for my new habit. And what is the result? So think about that November 16th and you've now accomplished this. So that habit is really truly changed for me. And so what does that mean? What does that mean when you accomplish that habit? And I wrote down less stress and I'm going to accomplish more. I'm going to become more efficient, which takes me back to my why I was doing it, right? So does that help seeing an example? Do y'all want me to share a business example or do you feel like you sort of got it? Yes. Give me a hint. Give me this. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. So I'll give you a business example that I think can apply to a lot of people. It can either be talking about yourself or it can be talking about a new person on your team. So one of my very first business goal for last quarter was to personally enroll a new 12K. All right. So that could be something for someone, or it could be for yourself, whatever it is, get yourself to 12K, get yourself to whatever rank you're going for. So that was my what. So think about like a rank. I know a lot of you, that is a goal for you is either re-rank or hit a new rank or be consistent at a rank. And when are you going to do it? Do you want to have it done by the end of October? Do you want to say, okay, I want to hit it by the end of, you want to hit it by November, whatever your date is. And why do you want to do that? So my why for building a new personal 12K was to find someone that I could enable and help that person build their own business, right? It was about them, helping them and accomplish a goal. At this point in time, you may not know who that person is, right? And my other why was knowing that I could help someone again. Because for me personally, a part of my business, that was a very common thing. And it hadn't been for a while. And so I needed to build that confidence back up in myself to know that I could do that. I could help someone again. So that was a really big part of my why, was helping me get my confidence back. And then who is it? Like I had, a specific person in mind, but if you don't, you could describe who that person is. But how are you going to do that? Like, think about the how, think about the who. So who is that person? But I know if you're trying to build yourself to a rank, or you're trying to build a new rank for you, for your team, it's not just about like one person getting there, but how many new promoters you're going to bring on board to help build. And I knew that I needed to build 2 new 4Ks to help build a 12K. So you can break it down as to who. I didn't know who those people were when I wrote this out. And then again, what was I going to sacrifice? Again, it's a theme here with me, nighttime TV. I'd gotten in a really bad habit of watching 30 minutes to an hour of TV every night, which may not seem like a lot for people, but when you add that up over, that's 7 to 14 hours a week. Think about how much business I could get done in that amount of time. And then what is the result? You earning that new rank. So does anybody want to walk through this, like use your own example, and we can sort of walk through the exercise and help you? You don't feel like you have to, but if anybody wants to volunteer. I love Melissa said her personal goal is to beat her PR and a half marathon in Mount Airy by 15 minutes, and you started training. That's awesome. What is your PR, Melissa? You have to share your PR with us. What's your goal? Kim, I love yours. Change your mindset and learn how to be positive and grateful. If you have not practiced this, it is hard. Yeah. But here's the thing, is that it is a habit that can be created, and I love that. Anybody want to share? I'm not going to call on anybody, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to make eye contact. You know how like you're in a classroom, people are like, don't look, don't look. All right, Amber, talk to me. What do you got to say about this?
I know Melissa just commented on the chat. She said slow 2.3. I guess that's 2 hours and 30 minutes.
That's not slow. Listen,
Girl,
people
at
never
least
run
you did
13
it,
miles.
right?
Girl.
My butt isn't out there doing it. So
You're
kudos,
doing it.
to you for stepping up and, taking the initiative to do it. That is phenomenal.
It is phenomenal.
But when you guys, here's what I want to chime in on for just a second on when you're thinking about your goals, whether they're personal or whether they're business. I want you to really put some meat into it outside of just saying, I want 12K. I mean, that's a great goal, but really dig in with yourself and figure out, is it just I want 12K, or what is going to happen when I hit 12K that's really going to make me go, oh, like it makes you feel good. You want to see that post on Facebook or make that post or tell your friends, like, what is it about that particular goal that is really, making you feel the feels and giving you emotion behind it? Because just to put a number out there, 4K, 12K, 40K, that's great. But unless you've really thought through and fully processed, how is that going to make me feel? It doesn't have a lot of sustenance behind it to really stick with it and push through and see it to the end kind of thing. That's just what I want to chime in on that.
No, I love that. I love that. It's almost visualizing, you guys, yourself, really like completely visualizing and seeing what it feels like to accomplish that. And I think it's so incredibly important to tap into that, tap into, if it's, let's be honest here, that a lot of our goals, at least from a business standpoint, are tied into finances for our families, ourselves, our future, right? Like maybe it's a little easier to go on a vacation. Maybe you don't have to, to save up to get a new air conditioner. Maybe it's, maybe Christmas is better for you in your house this year because you've met this goal. Like you have to channel that, because that will show up for you the days where you don't feel like doing crap. The days that you are like, I've had a bad day. Like, I don't want to go in there at 9:30 at night and do my business for 30 minutes. I want to sit my butt on the couch. If you are tuned in to what is going to happen and you visualize what happens when you accomplish those goals, then you will be tuned in to making it happen and showing up for yourself, because that's what this is about. It's showing up for yourself. But you have to know why. You have to know what is driving you to take these products, and you have to know what is driving you to share these products. If you don't, and if you've never truly tapped into that, and it changes, y'all, right? Like Amber, you know, a lot of us who've been thriving for a while, things change. My why now is a heck of a lot different than it was a year ago, than 2 years ago, than 3 years ago. I see what this business can do for people. I see the fortune that it can the things that it can do for people, not only for their present day, but for the future.
Yep.
That's part of my why for each and every one of you. I want each and every one of you to be able to experience whatever your goals are too. So tap into that feeling, tap into that emotion. And when you feel like not showing up for yourself, that is when you got to take this darn chart out and you got to read through it. And once you get this puppy filled out, you got to make photocopies, guys, and you got to put it on your mirror where you wake up and where you go to sleep every day. You got to put it at your desk. You need to put it on your dashboard. You need to put it in, you need it everywhere. It should be the screensaver on your phone. And you need to sit down and have a conversation with the people you live with. And you need to make sure that they understand. Because then when you say, I'm not going to be able to do that right now, they know why. They're not giving you a hard time, because hopefully these things, the results involve them too, right? Does anybody have any questions, want to add anything? I see some people are typing in the chat, and I love it, you guys. And y'all, if you want to share verbally, you can. Sharing on the chat is perfect too. Car shopping, visualizing it. I love that. Working out 3 times a week, Lauren says, generate a feeling of strength.
Hey, Kelly, I'll chime in really quick and just share a tidbit of something. You know, if I've worked with you guys for a while, some of you are newer and we haven't gotten to know each other quite yet. And you don't really know my personal journey from when I started to how I climbed through the ranks. But one thing, and I know Kelly was the same way, is that self-discipline that we were just talking about, to stay the course and stay focused and have your goals right in front of you so you're not losing track and losing focus and losing steam. That's what will get you there, because it is very easy. And I'm going to tell you this, you guys, I for a half a second thought about doing it today, because I've had a really bad day. Like today for me personally was just crap. I've had issues with like my daughter's dad, who is giving me a really hard time right now. I'm planning a wedding. There's just craziness going on in my world. And like for a half a second, I let it creep into my mind that I can't do this Zoom tonight. Like I'm just overwhelmed. I need a me minute because I've been like kids crawling all over me all day and I'm freaking tired. I'm just going to be raw and real and honest with you guys. But I said, no, I've made this commitment. I'm not going to let myself have an excuse. And there is a definite difference between a reason and an excuse. A reason is somebody's hurt, somebody's sick. You know, there is a defining thing that says, I truly can't do this. You know, I have an emergency. I have something that is truly standing in the way of me doing, you know, what I've committed to do, versus allowing yourself to give an excuse to not. And that I come from a very humble and loving place when I say this, that if you let that thought creep into your head, that thought can very easily just like snowball. And before you know it, you've just talked yourself out of it because you've rationalized it and made it make sense in your head, right? But when you commit to it and say, no, this is not a reason, this is an excuse, and I'm going to show up still. I'm still going to show up whether it's hurtful, you know, it's hurting right now, it's painful, I'm pushing through, I'm like pulling it together and digging deep. But that's where you're going to grow. Truly going to grow when you commit and show up every day, whether it's a good day, a bad day, an indifferent day, but you make the commitment to say, the reasons I'm not going to show up are things that are out of my control and truly are preventing me from being there, versus saying, I'm just going to give myself a hall pass tonight because I'm tired and I don't feel good. So 2-second soapbox moment there from me.
No, I love that, because you guys think of that moment. We've all been there. I've done it a gazillion times where you do take, let's just say like Amber would have taken that. She had every reason to not be here tonight, right? And let's say she would have done that. How does that make her feel? Like, does anybody win in that situation? She's going to carry guilt. She's going to be like, wow, I just left, people hanging. I don't feel good about it. She's let herself down. But if you just push through and you just take, it's sort of like, being a infant and going into that walking stage, you take that first step. The next step is easier. Next time you come up against that excuse, it's a lot easier. When you talk about self-discipline, when you talk about, staying, a lot of you, I see these amazing goals that you guys are sharing. You take that first step. You commit to day 1. Then you commit to day 2. You don't worry about day 30 or day 60. You commit to day 1, then 2, and then you commit to 3. By the time you get to day 4 and day 5, things are easier. Things are easier just showing up for yourself and really tapping in and utilizing the resource of these people right here to help you. Because guess what? In the next 90 days, we're all going to have several days where we don't feel like showing up. That is a guarantee. You can put that in red ink on your paper, right? Not pencil, because that's a guarantee. But what you choose to do with it is that is your decision. We can all be there to help, but that is your decision. And I will tell you, I can speak from experience, and some of you probably can too. It is so much easier to be consistent, even if that consistency is on the lower end of consistency, than it is to restart. When you have those moments where you're like, okay, I'm stopping, and you're restarting. There's like none of that momentum going, right? And if you are there right now, I see some of you shaking your heads. If you're there, it's okay, because guess what? You showed up. You are restarting, and you just have to give yourself grace and let it go, and just say, this next 90 days, I'm being true, and I'm showing up. For 90 days. It's 90 days. Think about like your life. It's like a millisecond of your life, right? Staying true to it. So a few examples of how you can. So one of the things I want you guys to put on your to-do list, we have just a very few minimal things that we want you to have totally done, committed before Sunday night. Okay, so you have a handful of days to finish it. We're going to officially kick off on Tuesday, but we're going to do, we want everybody to be really prepared for this emotionally, mentally, physically. We want you guys getting good rest. Is have your goals done. All right. If you want to share them with the group, I think that is amazing. If you feel a little private about it, that's fine too, you guys. The rules are that we don't really have a lot except for to show up for yourself every day. But have those finished. That's the first to-do item, is to have your goals finished. And if you sort of need some tweaking with them, please reach out to Amber or I. We will definitely help you with that. Sort of some how. So we're going to sort of get into like, how do you accomplish these? Some of you guys may know some of these resources, so it may be a little redundant, but we do have a new 5-4-3-2-1, sort of a facelift for that. That is going to be launching next week. So sort of like be in tune that is coming. It's still the same premises, but there's more examples coming, some more examples, so you may not feel spammy when you're messaging people. That will be coming next week. So that is a great resource that is on the horizon. Checklists. Is anybody checklist people? Yeah, right? Y'all, there's a ton of really good checklists. There is a ton in the We Thrive Vault. There are some on some of the older team pages. I'm not sure if we have them on United We Thrive, because there's so many on the Team Vault page. Or if you're like me and you can't find the perfect one, just make up a really like basic one if you have a Word. I think it's Word or Excel. I can't even remember, because y'all know I don't know how to do this stuff. That's how easy it is. There's like a chore chart thing in there that's already like printed out. It's clearly, this is like a chore chart for my business, but it helps. Like, so I have basic things in there. Make sure I go to bed with my Facebook messages cleared. I'm spending certain time in the customer group every day. Like, these are basic things, you guys, but life is hectic. I mean, is even though I've been doing this almost 4 years, I forget. And I'm like, did I do that today? And if I keep forgetting to go in and interact in Thrive in Life group, then I've probably forgotten for a handful of days. Okay. So maybe just look through like a list. If you're a list person, I think it's a great resource. Amber, you want to talk about any of the other resources we have? I know I have a few more listed there.
I mean, me personally, I have a notebook that I just every day, like I have the basic things that stay on that and then personal things I have to add to it all the time. But if I know that it's in front of me and I'm just a pen and paper girl. Some people do really good on their iPhones or their devices and they keep those checklists digitally. I need it like right here. Like this is me sometimes it's on an envelope, like whatever I have in front of me that's pen and paper. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to go spend a bunch of money on it. Just find what organization tool works for you and be consistent with that. Like Kelly was saying, there's so many options out there on the We Thrive Vault. I know Kelly has one that she works from that she could probably send over and you could modify, what works in, direct to you versus what she does. But if you have something, whether it's something you can physically, like I want to take the pen, I feel so accomplished when I can go, done. Like that is like instant gratification for me because it's I see it and I'm like, I've done that. Yes. What's next? And it keeps me on track. So I just think that it can be super basic. It can be really fancy if you want it to be, but have something that works for you that, these are my daily to-dos that I'm going to commit to every day and make sure that you just, stay on top of it.
Yes. And also, you guys, if you have think about a time in your business where you were really in the zone and you were rocking it out. Like, what were those things that you were doing? What are those things? Like, channel yourself, because every single one of you have that place where you're like, oh my God, I was confident. Like, I felt like customers were coming to me. Like, you just really, like, you were really feeling good about the activity and the contribution you're putting in. So go back and channel that and feel like, again, we're not going to have any sort of form to follow. This is sort of you. There are so many resources that we have. Again, it just goes back to the consistency. So we're going to touch and we're going to talk more about this on our first Zoom that we do. But some of you guys, again, when you were in Asheville, you went through some of this, but our avatar training. Those of you who are in Asheville who I'll explain what an avatar is because I was like, what is that? When we first heard it, we were like, wait, explain that again. Have you guys been using it? Like, be honest, because I've been using it about 50% of the time, and 50% of the time I sort of forget because it's not a habit. Has anybody else been using the avatar stuff? Okay, so I'm going to show you guys something funny, and you have to, you can make fun of me with me, okay, because I am making fun of myself. But, so this is my avatar, okay. I do not know who she is. I do not know her children, but this is my future thriver. And she sits here, and I stare at her, okay. And underneath, I have all the things that is her. I don't really know who she is. I pulled her off Google. But I say that because basically we're going to talk about this next time, but I want to sort of get your wheels spinning because I feel like it takes some grasping to really understand. It is who your target audience is. Like, who are you speaking to when you are writing your social media, right? Who are you targeting with this? And by creating a target audience, your avatar, it really helps you like write your social media to that person. Okay. And then you can sort of like, you have their characteristics. We'll go through this next week, but you have their characteristics, but then, once you do that, you're going to find somebody in this group that's probably your avatar. I know Nicole Ponda and I realized we were each other's avatar. So a lot of times now, like, I'll be like, that was a great post. You totally spoke to me, because I mean, clearly I am her avatar, she is mine. And so it really does sort of help. And I think having like a visual, it helps remind me that this is who, it's not that you're not like wanting to help other people, but this is who is a really good fit. This is who I know I can help and I can connect with. So we'll get into more of that, but, it's sort of fun. Like, it's sort of, you all can have crazy pictures on off of your Googles too. All right, so I think the last little bit that we were going to chat with tonight, obviously putting the Zooms on your calendar. Amber, do you want to talk about, or actually let me finish other stuff because I wanted you to talk about the MVPs and the rewards. The calendar, you guys, the chat group, you guys shout out wins. Do not be shy in that group, all right? If you wake up, early, if you stuck to your calendar today, if you made your calendar for today, if you moved your body, if you took your Thrive and that's your goal, if you did your skincare for 7 days, whatever your goals are, shout yourself out. Tell us. We want to celebrate you, right? I know Lauren and I were chatting today about goals, and I hope you don't mind. I'm not going to share everything, Lauren, but I am so proud of her because we spoke maybe a week or two, I think it was last week, and we talked about these goals, and we talked about these big goals, and she realized that it's incremental goals for her. It's okay, instead of a certain time, I'm not going to just go for that time. I'm going to work my way up 15 minutes earlier. I get used to that, then I'm going to do it 15 minutes earlier. And it's huge. It's those small little changes. And you may not feel inside, oh, I want to be there. I want to be there. But the fact that you're making those small incremental changes is so incredible. So use the chat group, share with us what you're doing, share with us what we can celebrate with you. Also share with your struggles. I mean, if you're having a bad day, you're I do not want to show up today. Say it. Say it. I love that Amber was so honest with you guys about it. Because don't think that she doesn't have those days and I don't have those days. We have them just as much as you do. I promise you. Maybe more. It depends on where you are. But that's what this group is about, right? Because when you're down, someone else is up, and they're going to be able to come and get you and take you up a level, right? And then when they're down, you're going to be there for them. And that is what this community, and that is what we want this to be. So there's no judgment. It is truly a place to get that encouragement and to shout it out. Also, leading your own team calls. Amber, do you want to talk a little bit about what that looks like for people and sort of the challenge that we want people to sort of take on?
Yes, absolutely. So, Kelly and I were talking about this earlier, I guess last week or last time we spoke, and kind of planning things. And where Kelly and I really met in the middle, and we started, thinking about where and when, at what point did we start having our own team calls and forming those. And that was at that 4K mark, that 4K to 12K mark, that if you had people under you, you guys, you are considered leaders, and your team, anybody in your network under you they're looking at you. They're saying, I want to follow her. I want to be where she is. And they can only do that when they hear your voice and see your face, and you're present and consistent in their world. I know Kelly and I both said it is really easy now that we're kind of combined in the United We Thrive team page, that it is easy to get complacent and just say, well, I know Blair's going to do that later, or Beth's going to do a live on that at some point, because we're all kind of joining forces and working together. But that doesn't mean that, my team or Kelly's team doesn't want to hear directly from us. So, taking on that just commitment to say, I'm going to be the leader that my team needs me to be, because the pace of the team is going to go at the pace of the leader. So when you're showing them, hey, I'm showing up for you guys, they're going to show up more for their own businesses. So if you are a 4K, even if you are just, tiptoeing into the 4K rank, but if you have people under you, you have a team. Therefore, you are a leader. And we just highly, motivate and encourage and support the fact that we want you to lead your own team calls, or have at least have a team chat that you are in constant kind of communication with, touch points with your team throughout each and every day. I know before I had my own team page, and really before I was doing my team calls, I did have a team chat that was super active, and everybody was engaging there. They were meeting each other, seeing faces, connecting, therefore going outside of that chat and supporting each other. You know, when we're on Facebook and making our posts and trying to get interaction there, a lot of that is, you know, the reason that's effective is because we have other thrivers jumping in and validating what we're saying. They're saying, me too. Yes, I know what you're talking about. And the people that are watching you, they're able to read these comments. That's validation. That's just as effective as getting somebody on a three-way call and saying, oh, there's somebody else's opinion on it that I don't even know. So having that camaraderie within your team, with a team chat and team calls to build that unity and support the friendships within your team to support each other and be kind of cheerleaders within the network is super, super important. And we want to see that you guys are scheduling those. Step out of your comfort zone. I know it may sound crazy and scary, and you may sit there, and I know I thought before, what in the world am I going to even talk about? You know, what am I going to say that's going to be important to these people? But they look up to you. You brought them into the business in some way or another, whether they're frontline to you or, you know, a few layers down. They're in your network, and you are their leader, and they want to know, how did Jessica get where she is? I want to know what she's doing. How did Sonia get to her rank? I want to hear her story, and I want to know what she, you know, has done to grow her business. So just do it. If it sounds scary, that's good. It's going to make you grow. You're going to develop yourself and develop skills. And the more you do them, the easier it gets. And it's just absolutely worth it. And that's how I built my team. And that's how Kelly built her team.
And the other thing I will say, that one thing I don't think I realized would happen, is that if you want to be, which obviously you all do, you wouldn't be sitting here, you know, we're getting ready to wrap it up. We only have a few more things, so thank y'all for hanging in there. But you wouldn't be sitting here if you didn't want to be leading other people down the same road. When you lead your own team calls, I remember leading them, there was like one person on, like, for a while. And then there's like more people. But here's the thing. It takes practice to become into your own leadership style, right? Like you are your own leader. And so, you know, get on there and you pretend like you have 500 people that you're leading and you're sharing and you've got that passion, and you really need to inspire one person. You need to help one person, because that person can go out and help other people. And so, you know, and they don't necessarily have to be weekly, you guys. We're just encouraging people to get involved. Look down in your sponsorship downline and get involved. They may not be your personally enrolled. They may be layers down. Who has ordered the Thrive Experience in the last 90 days on your team that you're not connected with? Get on a call, have a team call, have a Zoom, do a Facebook Live, really get interactive with those people and reaching out to them, especially if you haven't talked to them since Thrive Skin. People are starting to come like out of the woodworks, right, for Thrive Skin. So moving on, you guys, the other things that we really want to challenge you to do, finish your goals. I'm going to ask that everyone take, I know it's an hour, but if I did not feel, and Amber did not feel that it was uber important, we would not ask this, but before Sunday, rewatch. I'm going to drop the link when we get off of here, but please rewatch Aaron Aponte's interview with Courtney Glacier. You may not have seen it yet, and if you haven't, you may want to watch it twice. I've watched it twice myself. I'm going to watch it again before we kick this 90 days off. But you guys, like, her style isn't necessarily my style. It's probably, it may or may not be your style, but the reality is she is, I've been at 200K for quite some time, and she sponsored 24 new promoters in 1 month last month. Okay. Never sent out a single message. She's never sent out a single message in her entire time. Now, I'm not saying, she does have an Instagram following. She does have some other following. So I'm not saying that that is the necessary path, but the things that she says on that video should hit you. And it should hit you about showing up for your life every day, because she is a recovering addict. She has been sober, I think, for like 9 months. You guys, they were in a really bad financial place, and it's just a great, great, great video. So we'll drop it in there. So that is your second thing that we want you to do before then. And really think of, this is not going to be a goal, but I want you to think of a skill set that you really want to work on. And we talked about not making this like 90 days, but for the first 30 days, like, what is the skill that you want to be better at that you're not great at right now? Is it, maybe you want to learn more about attraction marketing. Maybe you want to be more confident at going live. Maybe you want to learn Facebook stories or Instagram stories. Maybe you want to learn how to Zoom. I know I want to learn how to Zoom to live Facebook. And like, that's one of the things that I want to do. And I want to learn how to continue to make stories better. Like, pick out something that you can improve on your skill set and just commit to that one thing. I know we get all these wonderful things that we get an opportunity to learn about, but I know for me, to help hold myself accountable, all these invitations that we get, you know, from marketers to like, look at this video, look at this. I'm not looking at anything for the next 30 days unless it has to do with the skills that I'm trying to improve. I know that helps a ton. Amber, I'm going to let you sort of close us out with the rewards and the MVP, and sort of like talking a little bit about that. And then we'll close out.
Perfect. Okay, so one thing Kelly and I talked about doing to make it kind of just fun and engaging and really kind of some internal competition-ish, if you will. It's not really competition, more with yourself than anything. But Kelly, we're going to do this weekly, I think we decided, is just picking an MVP out of this group every week. And that is just sheerly going to be based on consistency, kind of what we see, what we notice with you guys doing, being consistent with, whether it's a Facebook post, you know, if it's bringing three-way calls, if it's really just, you know, being the person that's hopping on every single, you know, kind of Zoom we do. We just want to like randomly come together every week, but pick one person that we really felt or feel like that have brought it that week, and say, and make that announcement every Thursday on our team Zoom of who our MVP for the week is. And the prize is going to be an option. You can pick from one of our closets of some of our Thrive little giveaways that we have. I know on my shelf over here, I have hats and books and cups and all sorts of like goodies. Or you guys can pick an hour with us. One of us, both of us, you can pick and choose how you want that to look, whether that's a one-on-one kind of, you know, mentoring kind of situation, or you say, hey, I've got my team call lined up for Thursday. I'd love for you to, you know, be a guest speaker on my team call. But we want to make it fun. We want to reward the people that are just showing up, being consistent, and rocking and rolling with this 90-day, you know, game plan. So how do you guys feel about that? Do you like the idea of MVP? It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Good.
And also, you know, even just sitting down and like working, like getting on a Zoom and like working together for an hour. I know that would be really valuable to me, to be able to work with any of the leaders, just to sort of get some tidbits and see how they can go through an hour of working. So you guys, we hope that y'all are excited. Does anybody have any questions, any comments, any things that maybe weren't clear, or thoughts, ideas that y'all feel like could enhance this experience for y'all? Don't be shy. Okay, I'll take that as y'all love it. I hope y'all know how excited we are. I hope you know how committed that Amber and I both are, and Blair's going to be popping on in during some of these as well. She's in Nashville right now, but we're committed. We're committed to our own personal success. We're going to be doing everything right alongside you. We have our own goals. Okay, you want me to? I'll put my checklist. I need to make it. Actually, I'm not going to make it pretty. I'm just going to give it to you how it is, because that's how I use it. Yeah, I'll send you guys. I'll put my email, you guys, in there, and y'all email me if you want it, okay? Because it's easier for me to send it to you as a PDF so you can make changes to it. But I want y'all to know that we're committed. We're committed to this group. We're committed to y'all. This group, definitely the people in this group, the goals are definitely, I don't feel sorry when I say this, so I'm not going to apologize for it. This group is a priority. If you're in this group, you're a priority because you are making a commitment. And so I want you to know that we don't take it lightly. We know your time is valuable, but I also want you to know that we are here to help support you. If you're having, a time where you just can't get yourself together, we reach out to us and allow us to help get you back on track. So I don't know why the, was it breaking up for anybody else? Christina, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, maybe the when I upload it to YouTube, it'll be better. I apologize for that for you. Amber, any closing comments before we hop off?
Just excited for this group that's here with us tonight, and hopefully we're gonna just dig in this together and all work and have fun and make big things happen in the next 90 days so that we all have crazy awesome Thanksgiving and Christmases for our families, and all this hard work will pay off in the holiday season, that we can just celebrate each other.
Yep. All right, you guys, we will talk to you soon. Y'all have a great rest of your night, and we'll talk to you over the chat. Talk to y'all soon. Bye, you guys.
Bye. Y'all have a good night.
Bye.